Hi, everybody, and welcome to Module 3 of the Tech Academy. I am very excited to bring you some website hacks this week. I kind of live and breathe website hacks and tips and tricks, although I'm not a web designer. So I've got some tips in here this week for you to make small changes to your website that are going to have a really big impact. And those do include some design elements. So I'm going to take you through a branding and design process as well, the one that I use, even though I'm not a web designer. So if you are not a website designer, which I know most of you are not, this is going to be really helpful for you. Okay, so here's what to expect in this module. We're going to go over elements of a website, how to simplify, how to design, how to make it super impactful. Also, the website pages that you should have on your website, and it's fewer than you think. And we're also going to talk about upsell thank you pages. In week 1, we went over a 10K month scenario, and a big piece of the scenario for you should be your passive income. And the upsell thank you page is where a lot of that passive income will come from. So we're going to dig into that in just a few minutes. And we're also going to talk about branding and tripwires. A lot of you maybe have not heard of tripwires before, so I'm going to talk a little bit about what those are, how to sell them, and where they fit in your 10K months. Okay, so as far as websites go, there's a lot of different platforms. So if your website is not in this list, please don't worry, it's okay. There's probably 100 different website platforms. I'm sure all of them are amazing. The commonly used ones that I see most often are WordPress, Squarespace, Wix, GoDaddy. Kajabi is a really big system, but I'm seeing that quite often recently. So these are pretty commonly used websites. I use Squarespace. I really like it. I might be moving to Kajabi at some point. It's, like I said, it's a bigger system. It's kind of an all-in-one. But if you're on any of these websites, you're doing awesome. And I would love to hear what other sites you're on. So if you're having problems with another website and it's on a platform that's not listed here, let me know what that is, because I would love to see what maybe problems you're having and also learn about a new website platform, because I like to dig in and figure them out and just see how they work. Okay, so brand elements. This is something to really consider when you are building your website, or maybe you need to go and refine the one that you have. So how will it feel? When people see your website, do you want it to feel whimsical, serious, colorful, classic, energetic, subdued, relaxing, loud, calm, and quiet? This is going to be different for everybody. It could really depend on what your brand is, what you're selling, and also your personality, because you really want to put as much of your own personality into your brand as possible. So I always tell my clients not to hide behind.
I have to plug in.
Logos of big companies. So if a client comes to me and they're in like a network marketing company and they say, I just can't connect with people, it's likely because they're just posting logos of the company, you know, the corporate branded marketing materials from the company, but there's nothing about them. So if you really switch that branding to include more of your own personal style and your personal life and your pictures, so that you become the brand, it will feel better to people that are watching your marketing. It won't feel as salesy. That's really important. And how will it sound? What language will you use? For example, people laugh at this when I say this, but will you swear in your branding? I swear in my branding all the time, especially when I'm really fired up about something that I'm sharing that I've recently discovered. There will definitely be F-bombs in my marketing. And that's okay. And that works really well for the people that I'm selling to. That's not true for everybody, but just know that I want you to be yourself. And also, will you use humor or will you be serious? So keep your brand as engaging as possible. And that's going to mean something different to each person. So if you need help here, let me know. Also, what will your brand look like? Will you use images of sunshine and rainbows, or computers and meetings? Will there be photos of you? I'm always going to say yes to this. When people ask, should I put photos of myself on my website? Absolutely, 100% yes. Yes, yes, yes. And if you don't have photos of yourself for your website, let me know, because Michelle Lee, who's in this group, is a fantastic photographer. She does the majority of my photography for my website, and she's wonderful. And I like to connect her with my clients all the time. She will hook you up with new images for your website. Okay, so it's time to create your brand board. And I'm going to take a peek with you in a few moments onto Pinterest, and I'm going to show you what that looks like. But I want to go through the process here with you first. So to explore your brand elements and find your own personal style, use Pinterest. This is such an underutilized tool for web design, and I really want to bring it to your attention. Someone gave it to me years ago, and I really love it because, like I said, I'm a non-designer. I'm also not great at visual creativity. So I'm a writer. I love words. I love technology. But when it comes to visual stuff, I really struggle. So this helps me quite a bit. So if you go to Pinterest.com and you want to create a new board and you want to call it brand board or something similar where you know that this board is all stuff for your website and your brand. Next, you can actually go into the search function of Pinterest and search brand boards. And you're going to see all these brand boards that other people have created. They're going to have colors, fonts, images. They're going to look really awesome. And those are web designers that create those brand boards. And then what I want you to do is I want you to pin the pins that you like onto your new brand board. And I want you to be super creative here. I want you to search elements, colors, anything that you like, and pin them onto this board. So this board for you, this new brand board, is going to be kind of a catch-all for anything that appeals to you. So try to stay within the same color scheme, or if that color scheme is rainbow, by all means, go crazy. But try to make it as cohesive as you can. And don't worry about being too serious or too in the lines with it. Just pin stuff that you like. Be as elaborate as you like. You will not use everything for your website or your marketing. So just pin everything that appeals to you. Okay, so I'm actually going to hop over to Pinterest and I'm going to show you what mine looks like. So I did put a screenshot in that presentation that you'll have, but I wanted to also show you what my brand board for my website looks like. So I started this a few years ago. I really like the colors, gold, navy, and this like hot bright fuchsia together. So that's what I searched. I searched these colors. I've got some fashion in there that I really like, just some random images, balloons, glitter, beach cruisers. I live in Santa Barbara, so I wanted to include some beach elements as well. And some of my photography is on the beach. So I love beach cruisers. I think it's super fun, summery. I also like bubbly, so I've got some champagne happening. And then these are the actual brand boards that I told you about with the colors and fonts and things like that. So this is what my kind of catch-all brand board looks like. I've got some table settings there for weddings that I really liked. Some pillows, some home decor. So this is just an example, some fonts that I really like. This is, like I said, this is just kind of a catch-all of all the random things. And then when I said search brand boards to figure out what colors and fonts you really like, this is what they look like. So designers have created these, and it has logos, looks like this person's a therapist. And so they have a logo at the top, and then they have these colors. And what's also really great, I know it's kind of hard to see on this, but these colors, typically these color swatches, have what's called a hex code underneath them. This is 374858. So a hex code will help you replicate the exact shade of this color onto your website. So when you are designing on Squarespace or WordPress or any of that, you can inject a hex code so that if you see a color elsewhere on the internet, like here, you can copy it. So you could take all these colors if you like this combo and use these codes underneath them to either give to a designer so the designer knows, or you can put them into your website yourself. So this is a brand board, has images, a logo, and the color scheme and the fonts. So you'll see here, there's like a little thing that says Matchmaker. Underneath it says Lane Narrow. That is the actual font scheme. So Matchmaker is this handwritten font, the name of the font, and then Lane Narrow is the name of this font underneath. So that's the combo that this person uses for their website. Okay, so here we go. So we're back here, and this is just, like I said, a screenshot of my brand board, and the brand board that we just looked at is right here, and then there's a few other elements there for you. Okay, next I'm really excited to share Creative Market because I use this quite frequently, and I use it for accents on my website. So, and in my email marketing. So what you do is you go out to creativemarket.com and you can search fonts and graphics for branding elements that you really like. So, and please don't get overwhelmed. Creative Market is a massive website, and these little packets of things that other designers have put there are for sale. But just to give you some perspective, I bought a packet of gold foil accents for my website 5 years ago. It cost me $12. I'm still using them. I use them everywhere. I share them with all my friends. So it's a really great resource. So you want to start with creativemarket.com. So they have branding elements there. They also have add-ons. So I'm going to show you what that looks like next. We're going to hop over there. And then there's also, I want to make you aware of Sarah Hart. Sarah Hart is a web designer that I follow. She does a lot of free trainings, and she has fantastic presence on Pinterest for you. So please always search Sarah Hart when you are on Pinterest or when you're on Facebook. She's a really, really great marketer who specializes in branding elements. So she's a great resource if you're looking for some creativity there. Okay, so let's hop over to Creative Market. I've got it ready to go right here. Okay, so this is Creative Market. So see up here, you have this menu, so many things. You can be on this website for hours and hours and hours. So what I like to do, you can search here in these categories if you kind of have an idea of what you want. Maybe it's a landing page or your email templates, things like that. But what I like to do, when I found the elements I like for my site, because I really know that I like the gold foil accents, is I just go up here and I search gold foil. Then it brings up all these things. So yes, there's still a lot of choices, but I'm going to show you what this looks like. Say I go here to foil and glitter. And again, they're super inexpensive. This is $9. And you buy it and you get all these little things these are all individual files for you. So once you buy it, you will be able to get like these little swatches. There's different shapes. I have hearts on my website that came from this packet that I bought many, many years ago. So that's kind of what that looks like. So you just buy this file. They send it to you so that each kind of element is its own separate little file. So you can put them wherever you like. And that way your branding will be cohesive across all the different platforms. So your email marketing, your website, your social media posts, all those things will match up. So then you will just look like you have all of your marketing dialed in, and it's a great way to convey that professionalism. And it also gets you away from, if you are affiliated with another company, it gets you away from their branding so that your branding will stand out. And if you have a lot of people that are, for example, I keep coming back to network marketing, but if you have a lot of people that are in the same company or affiliated with the same brand, this will really help you stand out and create your own personal style. So this is just an example. Feel free to go crazy here and search all the things if you want to. And this is just an example of a process that I use. And I did talk about add-ons a second ago. So let's look at add-ons. So this is a fairly new element to Creative Market. And something that really caught my eye while I was digging into Creative Market recently is they have these presets for Lightroom. So I know that it's really important for a lot of us to have cohesive feel to your social media marketing and your website and your email. And this is the secret that a lot of Instagram models or whatever you want to call it are using. So you have what's called presets. This is like a fairly new development. You don't have to be a professional photographer to have your images look awesome. You really don't. What you need to have are presets. And again, super inexpensive, 24 bucks. So, and you can go through and click this video and watch kind of how it happens. But what presets do is they create, I think they have before and after. Yes. So this is like a before example. So these are just maybe raw images, maybe a little bit of editing, but they look pretty raw to me. And then if you go back, these same images have these presets applied. And this, oh my goodness. So for example, this one is called Coachella Blush is the name of the preset. So a preset is basically a tool that helps you balance the colors. The colors are consistent across all of your photos. And it just really takes the guesswork out of trying to be a photographer, editor. You don't really need to do that for your social media and for your other marketing. So again, before editing, this is what it looks like. You've got some greens and whites here. You've got some blues. So not a ton of cohesive colors here, and then you throw in this preset, and you see this really pretty blush overlay that's happening here. So it's really pretty. So I also highly recommend digging into presets too for your marketing and your images. Okay, here we go. So those are the elements for your website. So Creative Market, we looked at the fonts and graphics, branding elements. We also looked at the add-ons, and I also told you about Sarah Hart. So check her out on Pinterest as well. Okay, so what pages should you have on your website? You should have a home page, an about page, a work with me page, and a contact page. If you are running any kind of special program and you want to highlight that, by all means, add a page here, but in the navigation itself, it should be really simple. And if you offer more than one thing, for example, your work with me, maybe if you have a one-on-one program, if you do coaching, or if you have a group program, or you teach something, you have a live workshop or a live event, you can have a drop-down menu under work with me, and people will know where to find you. Okay, so what is an unlinked page? So in addition to this navigation, you want to make sure that you have the other things that live on your website hidden. So I have a page on my website that hosts all my files. So my freebies are there, any kind of video trainings that I want to deliver to people are there, and that's my files page. I also have some courses that I host on the back end of my website. So those are unlinked pages too. And these are not, just so you're not overwhelmed, these are not required. And I'm going to be showing you how to implement this next week when we go ahead and activate our wonderful freebies that we've been working on. Okay, so the other thing that an unlinked page is really good for is an upsell thank you page. I'm really pumped about this. I'm going to show you what this is next. Okay, so upsell thank you page. They are pages that pop up after your audience opts in for your freebie, but before they actually get the freebie. So between the time that people opt in and get their freebie, there's actually a little bit of time and space there for you to sell something else to your audience. It's a great way to get passive income in. I talked about that in the beginning. And you can get a lot of sales from an upsell thank you page. So they're great for selling small offers, and they're also great for growing a Facebook group or some other call to action. So if people are like, oh my gosh, how does this person get so many people into their private Facebook group? Well, this is how they do it. So the small offer, for example, let me tell you what both of these are. Small offer can be a PDF or video training or anything that you have that is low cost. And an upsell thank you page is a great place to sell that small offer. And then this is a screenshot of my upsell thank you page. So people opt in for my freebie, they're automatically redirected here. So I say, please check your inbox for your email confirmation so that they can get their freebie. And then I say, before you confirm your email, so before you dig into the freebie, you can join other powerhouses just like you in our private Facebook community, Your Freedom Tribe. And then I have a call to action button. They click it, they join my Facebook group, and then I have their attention for a bit longer. And now I can speak to them more regularly in the actual Facebook group. And there's a community there, so they can interact with other people that are in the group, and it grows my group pretty consistently. Okay, so we talked about small offerings with the upsell thank you page. So these small offerings are called tripwires. That is the terminology that we use for these small offerings. So I typically price mine between $27 and $97, and I offer them on my upsell thank you page. The other verbiage that's really great to add to your upsell thank you page is telling your audience, this is the only time you will see this offer. So if you're taking notes right now, write that down. This is the only time you will see this offer. That creates a sense of urgency. If people are like, oh, anything less than $100 is pretty much an easy sell for people. They don't really think twice about buying something that's under $100, which is kind of the psychology behind this pricing. So, and this should be a part of your 10K a month strategy. If it's set up right and you're driving traffic correctly, this can easily get you $2 grand a month, and it's automated. The delivery of this is also automated, which we will dig into as well. I'll help you set this up too. So your tripwire can be a video tutorial. It can be an ebook, a PDF, an audio file, a presentation, just like the one we're doing right now, a strategy call, anything. It can be anything. And if you have ideas here, let's go over them. Let me know what they are in the Facebook group, and I will help you design your tripwire. Okay, so how do all these pieces fit together? We've talked about an opt-in page. We've talked about your freebie. I know a lot of you have your freebies done, and a lot of you are still working on your opt-in pages, which is totally fine. So we want to make sure that you are now working on your upsell thank you page. So in this sequence, the sales funnel sequence, this pops up after people opt in for your freebie. So they opt in to your opt-in page, the freebie is sent to their email, but before they head over there and grab it, this upsell thank you page pops up and says, I'm excited to be, sending you this freebie. In the meantime, while you're waiting for that, I want to show you this other great thing that I have that I think you would love. And this is the only time you're going to see this, because it's not in your navigation. Nobody can find it anywhere. And there's a big sense of urgency around it. So that is the tripwire that you are going to be selling on your thank you page. I also wrote or has another call to action. And the other call to action that I find really useful is growing that Facebook group. So if you're not selling anything right now, which is totally fine, but you have a Facebook group or maybe an event coming up, I would put that on this upsell thank you page because you have their attention because they're trying to get your freebie. So now it's important to get their attention here for an upsell of some kind of call to action. Okay, here we go. We are at the end. So what to do this week? I want to make sure that you have finalized your freebie. Don't feel like you're behind. If you need help on this, please reach out to me. I also want you to finalize your opt-in page. And you're also going to be creating an upsell thank you page here. So you're going to be adding a site to your website. It's going to be a hidden page or an unlinked page. It's not going to show up in your navigation. And I also want you to head over to Pinterest and create your brand board. And then also, if you need to, I know a lot of you guys have websites already that are super dialed in. So if you don't, this is a great place for you to start creating your brand board. It'll also help you, honestly, in your email marketing and really dialing in your social media marketing too. So it's a great exercise to do. And I also want you to simplify your website. If you have a bunch of pages on your website with a bunch of things, I want you to simplify into those few pages and create some drop downs there. Okay, for next week, we are going to dig into text marketing next week. It's a very simple system, and I'm really excited to introduce you to it. We are also going to be writing those emails. So if you have not reviewed those emails in the folder that I gave you last week, please go back and do that. I've also linked it in the useful links in module 2. So outside of the actual video presentation, you can click through those links. There's a whole folder with 5 email examples that I use that I want you to review. And last, next week, we are going to be connecting your freebie for automated delivery. So I know a lot of you guys know, okay, I have this freebie, I'm not sure what to do with it, how do I get it to people? Fear not, friends. We're going to be doing this next week. It's going to be awesome. We're really going to dial in this system for you and put all these pieces into place and have them working. So I'm very excited about that. I hope you guys have a fantastic day. Please continue collaborating in the Facebook group. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Ask your questions. Answer other people's questions. It's a really great community. So thank you for being here in the Tech Academy, and I will see you very soon. Thank you.